Hello there and welcome back to Hydroponics Daily, your go-to podcast for everything soilless cultivation. I'm your host, Dr. Russell Sharp, the founder of Utrema Limited. That's Latin for wasabi, and we manufacture hydroponic fertilizers, novel biostimulants, and organic biopesticides. And today I've been doing some research on companies that use hydroponics in their production system but don't make a big deal of it, and for non-food companies. So they use them in their manufacturing. And there's a really interesting, what I pulled out of the data is really interesting. So what I found is that loads of these companies are based in France, which you don't normally think of when it comes to hydroponics. And a lot of them are cosmetics groups. So Ule, they produce their vertical eco farm for the production of Coleus, Tulsi, and Centella. And that's specifically for cosmetics. And then the L'Oreal group, the skincare group, they grow loads of calendula in herbal extract toner that goes into. And so they produce that in America, in Warwick, in New York, not Warwick with the castle. So calendula. And then the company Capsum in France, high-end cosmetics. They have a lab farm in Marseille that they've built with ebb and flow hydroponics for herbal medicinal herbs and cosmetic ingredients. Then Marlowe Hydroponic Skincare is a US company. They have positioned themselves as the hydroponic skincare company, and it's built around clean hydroponic extracts. That's their USP. And so that's really interesting. I've never heard of them, but they're a company dedicated to hydroponic skincare. Plant Advanced Technologies in France, they make cosmetic actives using aeroponics, so meadow sweet roots. And so that's interesting. So their business is focused on cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and fine chemicals, not edible crops. And then again in France, Botanics with an X on the end, they're vertical farming cosmetic ingredients again. So they don't say what they're growing, but that's interesting. And then South Korea, Biospectrum, which I think I've heard of. They are a supplier of herbal cosmetic ingredients used in commercial hydroponic towers. And so cosmetics is massive, hydroponics. Who knew? And again, those companies like Ule, they use hydroponics for fragrances. So perfumes, again, this is, what we think of when we think of France, perfumes. And the luxury fragrance maker Therminic have partnered with French vertical farm startup Jungle to source vertically farmed flowers for perfume ingredients. So around 20% of the company's perfumes are planned to come from vertical farms. So that's really interesting. And then obviously when we're thinking about non-food crops, ornamentals come into that, but they're still horticulture. So you're thinking of like Kenyan roses, and they are grown hydroponically. So that's really interesting. I'm sure there are more companies out there for more obscure niche uses that are using hydroponics, but they're not making a big deal of it. It's probably intellectual property that they're keeping as know-how. But if you know of any, then please do let me know, because I'd love to hear about it. If you thought this was an interesting podcast, it was short and sweet, but if you got any value from it, please do leave an Apple Podcast review, because it helps the podcast tremendously. And as always, make sure you click follow and check out utrema.co.uk. If you can't spell Utrema, or you can't work out how to spell it, just Google wasabi, because it is the genus name for wasabi, the scientific name. And utrema.co.uk, we make a range of fertilizers, biostimulants, and organic biopesticides that are unlike you'll find from any other company's portfolio. We don't sell to other companies in hydroponics. So if it's on our website, it's completely unique, and it's made by us and only supplied by us. So it's definitely worth checking it out, not just because it's a plug. All right. Thank you very much for listening. And until tomorrow, goodbye.